Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be tackling something super important in the business world, self-mastery.
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking at how you can master your concentration and focus,
Right.
and even meditation to really impact your success.
Yeah.
So we're diving into the beginning of self-mastery, the power of concentration, focus, and meditation by Jerry Adkins.
Okay.
It's the second book in his book, Real Wealth Blueprint series,
Right.
which you can find on Amazon.
Awesome.
You know, in today's business world, there are distractions everywhere.
Everywhere.
It feels like everyone and everything is fighting for our attention,
It's true.
which makes it really hard to get things done,
Yeah.
let alone do them well.
Yeah.
So that's where self-mastery comes in.
I agree.
And to help us navigate this, we have an expert who's really well-versed in these techniques.
Excited to be here.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So you're absolutely right. This constant barrage of distractions
Right.
can really throw us off our game. And what I find interesting is that we often try to solve this by doubling down on external strategies.
So yeah, for sure.
You know, like better to-do lists
Yeah.
or the latest productivity app.
Yep.
But Jerry Adkins argues that the real game changer here is understanding and mastering our own minds.
100%.
It's about going inward first.
Yes.
Okay, so let's unpack that.
Yeah.
How does this inward focus, this self-mastery, actually translate into tangible results
That's a great question.
in the business world?
Well, think about it this way.
Okay,
When you're constantly distracted,
right, yeah.
your attention is fragmented.
Yeah.
You're reacting to everything that comes your way
Uh-huh.
instead of proactively driving your own agenda.
Okay,
It's like trying to build a house on shaky ground.
that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It's like you're constantly putting out fires instead of focusing on building something that's sustainable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Adkins takes a really interesting approach here.
Okay.
He starts by delving into the science behind the mind, specifically brainwaves. Did you know that our brains operate at different frequencies?
Yeah, I've heard of brainwaves.
Okay.
But to be honest with you,
Yeah,
I never really connected them to business or productivity.
right.
It always seemed like a very new age kind of thing.
I get that.
Yeah.
But understanding these brainwave patterns
Okay.
can be incredibly insightful,
Okay.
even in a business context.
Yeah.
For example, when we're in that stressed out
Yeah.
go mode,
Right.
our brains are primarily producing beta waves.
Uh-huh.
We're alert,
Right.
but also prone to anxiety and that feeling of mental overload.
So it's not just about being busy.
Right.
It's about the quality of our mental energy.
Precisely.
Okay.
Now imagine
Yeah.
if we could intentionally shift our brain waves into a calmer,
Okay.
more focused state,
Right.
like the alpha state.
Okay.
This is where creativity flows,
Yeah.
solutions emerge more easily,
Yeah.
and we can tap into a deeper level of concentration. Wow.
That's where practices like meditation come in.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection here.
Yeah.
But meditation
Yeah.
is a pretty broad term.
It is.
There are so many different types and techniques.
Yeah.
Where do we even begin?
Yeah. So Adkins covers a lot of different approaches,
Okay.
including mindfulness meditation,
Okay.
which is great for developing present moment awareness,
Right.
and loving kindness meditation,
Hmm.
which cultivates empathy and compassion.
Okay.
But he also delves into a fascinating program
Yeah.
called the Gateway Process.
The gateway process.
Yeah, have you heard of it?
That's a new one for me.
Okay.
What makes it unique?
Well, it was developed by the Monroe Institute,
Okay.
and it uses specific audio exercises
Okay.
and a technique called hemispheric synchronization.
Okay.
Essentially, it helps balance the two sides of your brain
Okay.
to access these deeper states of awareness.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff.
So we're not just talking about relaxation here.
Now, we're talking about expanding our consciousness
Yes.
and tapping into a whole new level of mental potential.
Exactly. And the potential benefits for business leaders
Yeah?
are significant.
Like what?
Increased focus,
Okay.
enhanced creativity,
Mm-hmm.
improved decision-making,
Yeah.
and a greater ability to connect with others authentically.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
But I think we need to dive deeper into the practical applications of all of this.
I agree.
How do we actually take these concepts from the realm of theory
Right.
into our daily business lives?
That's a great point, and that's where we'll pick up in our next segment.
Yeah.
We'll explore specific strategies for cultivating concentration,
Okay.
managing distractions,
Yeah.
and harnessing the power of meditation to unlock your full business potential.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
please do. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're picking up right where we left off, exploring how self-mastery can transform your approach to business.
You know, I'm already starting to see how these concepts connect. We're not just talking about meditation retreats and chanting Om.
Right.
We're talking about practical tools
Yeah.
that can help us navigate the daily challenges of running a business.
Absolutely. And one of the most powerful tools in the self-mastery toolkit is the ability to concentrate. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly focused, completely immersed in a task without distractions?
Honestly, it feels like a distant memory. Between emails, social media, and the constant barrage of notifications, it's a struggle to stay focused for more than a few minutes at a time.
That's the reality for most of us. But Jerry Adkins argues that concentration is a skill that can be cultivated, like a muscle that gets stronger with practice. And he provides some really practical techniques in the book.
Like what? I'm all ears.
Well, one that's gained a lot of popularity is the Pomodoro technique. You work in focused bursts, typically 25 minutes, followed by a short break. It's a simple but effective way to break down larger tasks and maintain focus.
I've actually tried the Pomodoro technique, but I often find myself getting sucked back into work mode during the breaks. Any tips for someone who struggles with that?
That's a common challenge. The key is to use those breaks intentionally. Step away from your desk, get some fresh air, or do something completely unrelated to work. It's about giving your mind a chance to reset.
So it's not just about taking a break, it's about the quality of the break.
Exactly. Another concept Adkins emphasizes is deep work. It's about carving out dedicated time for intense, focused work, eliminating all distractions. Think of it as creating a mental fortress where productivity can flourish.
I love that image, a mental fortress. It's like those do not disturb signs, but for your brain.
Precisely. And it's not just about external distractions. It's about managing those internal distractions as well, those thoughts and anxieties that can derail our focus.
Which brings us back to meditation, right? It's not just about relaxation. It's about training our minds to stay present, to observe those distractions without getting swept away by them.
That's the core of it. And remember, meditation isn't just about sitting in silence on a cushion. There are many different forms of meditation, each with its unique benefits. Adkins highlights mindfulness meditation, which helps us become more aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment, and the gateway process, which delves into deeper states of consciousness.
We talked about the gateway process earlier, and you mentioned its potential for expanding awareness. How does that translate into practical benefits in the business world?
Well, imagine being able to approach a high-stakes negotiation with a calm, clear mind, free from the usual anxieties and distractions, or having the mental clarity to make a difficult decision under pressure.
I can see how those would be game changers, like you're accessing a whole new level of mental processing power.
Exactly. And the gateway process isn't just theoretical. In the bonus material and assessment of the gateway process, there are some fascinating accounts from business leaders who've used these techniques to achieve remarkable results.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. But let's be realistic. Most of us are juggling a million things. How do we incorporate these practices into our already hectic lives?
That's where creating a daily routine comes in. And Adkins provides some great guidance on this. He emphasizes the importance of starting the day with intention, perhaps through a morning ritual that includes meditation or gratitude journaling.
So instead of hitting the snooze button and scrolling through social media, I'm setting the tone for a focused, productive day. I can dig it. What about managing those digital distractions? Our phones are like mini slot machines, constantly vying for our attention.
It's the ultimate challenge to focus in the digital age. Adkins suggests establishing device-free periods, those sacred times when you completely disconnect from the online world.
Like a digital detox? I know I could definitely use a dose of that.
It's not about becoming a technophobe, but about setting boundaries and creating space for deep work and meaningful connection. He also suggests using productivity apps to block distracting websites or turning off non-essential notifications.
It's like becoming the architect of your digital world, designing it in a way that supports your focus and productivity.
Exactly. And as you start to incorporate these practices, remember that self-mastery is an ongoing journey, not a destination. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt.
That's where the resilience we talked about earlier comes into play. It's about having the mental fortitude to bounce back from those setbacks and keep moving forward.
Precisely. And one final thought before we wrap up this segment, Adkins and the IBC Club will be hosting a deep dive webinar soon, delving even deeper into these practical applications of self-mastery. It's a fantastic opportunity to learn from the experts and connect with a community of like-minded individuals.
That sounds incredible.
Well,
We'll be sure to share the details in the show notes.
yeah.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's dive into the final segment of our deep dive and explore how to sustain this momentum, how to make self-mastery a way of life, not just a temporary fix.
I'm ready when you are.
Welcome back to the deep dive. It's time for the final part of our journey into self-mastery. We've covered a lot of ground,
Yeah, we have.
but there's one crucial piece we need to address:
Okay.
how to sustain this momentum.
Right.
It's easy to get excited about these new ideas
Yeah.
and these techniques, but how do we make these practices last?
Mhm.
How do we make them a part of our lives?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Jerry Adkins actually addresses this.
Okay.
He reminds us that self-mastery is not a destination.
Totally.
It's an ongoing journey.
Uh-huh.
It's about continuous learning,
Okay.
adapting and refining our practices.
So it's not about like achieving some perfect state of zen
No.
and then just coasting.
No, not at all.
Right.
It's about embracing the process,
Okay.
the ups and downs, the
Yeah.
inevitable setbacks that
Yeah.
come with any journey of personal growth.
That's where the concept of self-compassion comes in, right?
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about discipline
Mhm.
and focus,
Yeah.
but what about those moments when we inevitably fall short?
Well, that's a crucial aspect of self-mastery that often gets overlooked. Adkins really emphasizes the importance of being kind to ourselves,
Right.
recognizing that we're all works in progress.
Yeah.
We're going to stumble. We're going to make mistakes, and that's okay.
Right.
It's part of the learning process.
Because if we're constantly beating ourselves up for every little slip up,
Right.
it's going to be pretty hard to stay motivated on this journey.
Self-compassion is about getting ourselves permission to be imperfect,
Okay.
to learn from our mistakes, and to keep moving forward with grace and resilience.
It's like that old saying,
Yeah.
fall down 7 times, get up 8.
I love that.
It's not about avoiding failure. It's about how we respond to it.
And that's where those daily practices that we've been talking about
Yeah.
become so valuable.
Okay.
Meditation, journaling, gratitude exercises.
Uh,
These tools help us cultivate a mindset of
Oh.
self-awareness and resilience.
right.
So when those inevitable challenges arise, we're better equipped to handle them.
So it's about building that inner strength,
Yeah.
that mental fortitude that allows us to weather the storm
Yes.
and emerge stronger on the other side.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And as we build that inner strength,
Okay.
Adkins encourages us to set new goals,
Okay.
new challenges that
Mhm.
keep us stretching and growing.
Because if we're not growing, we're stagnant, right?
Right. Yep.
And in the business world,
Yeah,
stagnation is not an option.
exactly.
Yeah.
We have to constantly be evolving,
Right.
adapting to new challenges and expanding our skill sets.
And self-mastery provides the foundation for all that.
It does.
It's about becoming the best version of ourselves,
Yes.
not just in the boardroom,
Mm-hmm.
but in every aspect of our lives.
Yes.
And I think that's what truly resonates with me about this whole concept
Yeah.
of self-mastery.
What is it?
It's not just about achieving external success.
Right.
It's about cultivating that inner peace, that sense of fulfillment that radiates outwards.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to remind our listeners
Okay.
that this is just the beginning of your self-mastery journey.
Mm-hmm.
The information we've explored today is a springboard,
Right.
a starting point for your own exploration and experimentation.
And Jerry Adkins has laid out a powerful roadmap
Yes.
in the beginning of self-mastery, which is the second book in his 10-book Real Wealth Blueprint series,
That's right.
available on Amazon.
Yes.
And for those of you who want to dive even deeper,
Yeah.
Jerry Adkins and the IBC Club are going to be hosting a webinar soon
They are.
to explore these concepts even more.
It's going to be great.
We'll be sure to share the link in the show notes.
Awesome.
So as we sign off, we leave you with this final thought.
Okay.
How can you apply the principles of self-mastery to unlock your unique potential and achieve greater success in your business and in your life?
Take some time to reflect on that.
Yeah.
Let it guide your actions
Huh.
because the world is waiting for the best version of you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep mastering yourself.